All right, so we just learned about the marginal cost of capital, and what we're looking at right now is the investment opportunity schedule. Okay, now the investment opportunity schedule, iOS, it's not the operating system for Apple, right? Not that. We are looking at investment opportunity schedule. Now, what this is that we're working on right now is it's prioritizing projects for a company, okay? So we've already gone over an NPV and IRR schedules, but what we're looking at now is that we are prioritizing. Sorry, so we're looking at a couple different things. Now, one of the companies we're operating, let's say that we are operating a distillery. Okay, and so within this distillery is that we are down in South Carolina. We make a lot of moonshine, or there are moonshiners around, right? So let's say that we are legally selling moonshine now. Okay, so we're making this. We're making a corn whiskey. So it's out of this is that we're trying to figure out what things we need to do. So we're going to come up with a few things. One of them is, let's say that we need a new still. Okay, that's something that we need, and we have estimated a return on that of, say, 9%. Okay, that's what our estimated return is on the old one. Works fine. The new one just will make us a more efficient process. Let's say that we're also looking at putting up a new sign. Okay, and this sign I think is pretty important, right? We've estimated that as having a return of 15%. Okay, now let's think about some other things that we might want to do. All right, let's say that we want to invest in a graphic designer. Okay, because we want to make our labels a little bit more eye-catching. Okay, and let's say that this will give us an 11% return. And then the next thing we're looking at is that, all right, what if we were to purchase a new bottling line? Okay, we're going to purchase a new bottling line, and this is going to generate for us a return of 7%. Now, I'm sure as any business owner can attest to, is that there is a laundry list of things that might be nice to do. Okay, but what things are we going to do first? We are going to do the investments that are the most important first, that are going to generate for us the highest return. Now, which one of these four things is going to generate the highest return for us? Well, that's going to be the sign, right? The sign at 15% is going to generate the highest return. That is what we should be doing with our monies there. Okay, the second thing is the graphic design. Okay, so that has the second highest return. We're going to do the 15% first, the 11% second. What are we going to do third? Well, that's going to be the still. Okay, because the still is generating 9%, and the bottling line is generating for us 7%. Okay, now this is irrespective of the amounts of these actual items that we're going to do. Okay, but we're going to put in here the amounts because that's important for our next step, which is actually drawing out that investment opportunity schedule. Okay, so let's say the new still will cost $65,000. A new sign is $12,000. Paying a graphic designer and doing all sorts of designs is $15,000, and a new bottling line is $48,000. Okay, that's it. These are just our estimates. Pull the numbers out of wherever. Okay, so what we notice is that some of these numbers are high, some of the numbers are low on the actual costs. But what we're doing is we're not going to say, oh, we're going to put all our money in the expensive thing first. We're going to do whatever investment is going to generate the highest return for us. Okay. Remember, that's going to be the sign here. All right, so when we generate this and we create that investment opportunity schedule, is that we are going to be looking at, over on our horizontal axis here is the dollar amount. Over on the vertical axis is the rate of return. Okay, so since we're going to do the sign first, right, at a rate of return of 15%, okay, and that had a cost of $12,000. Okay, so that is showing us up at the high level there, that's a return of 15%, excuse me. And then we're going to come down to the 11%. Okay, and we're going to follow that over, and that is at $15,000, right? So what is this point down here on the horizontal axis? Is that 15,000? No, it's going to be that first amount, that 12,000, plus then the second amount here, which is at that 15,000. So this amount, where it's going to cross the horizontal axis, is at $27,000. Okay, and then we're going to trace that down to the 9%. Okay, which is for the new still. Okay, and that's going to be at the 65,000 plus the 27,000, which is going to be over here at $92,000. Okay. Okay, and we're stepping down here. And then we have our last project, which is the bottling line, which is going to generate at 7%. Okay, so that's going to be, maybe it won't be to scale here, but it's going to be at $140,000 over here. Okay. And what we see here is that this is our investment opportunity schedule, that line that we drew down there. It's somewhat, you can think of it as similar to a demand curve, right? Where we have our first consumption is going to be those things that are going to generate for us the highest, and then it's downward sloping, okay? So this is generating for us that investment opportunity schedule, okay? Prioritizing, and this is the crucial point here, prioritize the things that have the highest return first. Do the things that are going to generate the highest return for you first. Do the things that are the second highest next, regardless of what the dollar amount is. And then just follow that through until you have, until the next step, which is combining this investment opportunity schedule with the marginal cost of capital schedule.